there are two circumstances in the world. There's nothing except these two things. No money, no governments, no countries. None of that matters. The dichotomy, love and hate. So, to better break this down, you, for example, in order to forgive someone, you have to love. You have to love yourself. You have to love that person. You love yourself by giving yourself that respect enough to let whatever the other person did to you, to let all of that go, to be able to look at that person and say, you know what, I don't hate you. I don't wish you to be run over by a bus. I don't wish any ill will on you. I just want to forgive you and let go of how you assailed me. And I love and respect myself enough to do that because I am deserving of the freedom of the forgiveness and the love that stems from that, and the lifted weight and burden of carrying around the heaviness of that hate or the negative feelings that I have, letting all of that go. I love myself enough to give myself that. So there's love, and a category of that, you have forgiveness. For hate, you have to really be vibrating low in order to do that. There is nothing on this planet that would make me hate another person. No matter what, I may hate their actions, the way that they think, their perspectives, but I could never hate another person. Why? Because the energy of that is so heavy, and it takes away from any positive energy I'm trying to build in other areas or maintain in other areas or within myself. When you carry around hate, it just takes away. It's like a cancer. It takes away from the space that love has. It's like dark overtaking light or dimming light. No, I want light. I'm a Leo. We enjoy the sun. So why would I want light? I love light. Light is light. It's not heavy. It's beautiful. It's love. So when you have hate, it's like wearing concrete boots. It's like having something strapped to your waist while you're trying to stay afloat. You just get dragged down by those feelings and that negativity, that heaviness. And it's no need. But with everything that's going on in the world, and that's why there's so much going on in the world. If you've never noticed it, I want you to tune in, meditate if you have to, and feel it. Feel the heaviness of everything that's going on. Like the world itself just feels so sad and hurt and suffering and in pain. That's the world that we're in right now. It thrived so long on so much hate since humans came about, basically. I'm sure animals didn't possess hate. They did what they had to do. They're programmed and instinctual. So the predators go after their food, and then, of course, the prey do what they're supposed to do. That's the makeup. But there's no hate there. Us, we don't know how to love outside of ourselves. As soon as we realized, as soon as we created the ego, the collective ego, through individuality, we eliminated collective love and the full definition and enabling of humanity. The ego took over and it spread again like a cancer. Light and dark. The ego is heavy. Light would be consciousness. So from the dawn of man, we've had to deal with the ego. And since then is when we've had to deal with this hate, because it was always survival of the fittest. As soon as people realize, oh, I can do something over another person, or I can take away from this person and have more for myself. Any of those things, that's hate and love for self only. But even in that love for self, there's some hatred there for ourselves, because the underlying thing is that we lack in some way. So if you have to think, for example, that you're better than another person, then you're insecure. You don't think that you can be the person that you are if another person is outshining you. Okay. And you hate yourself for that. So you feel you have to take someone else's light or dim it. So Don't think that if you're proud and you're this and you're that and you can do this and that you're in a positive position. No, because your perspective doesn't reflect that. Humanity is suffering now more than ever because the world has spent so long absorbing all of that negativity, all of that selfishness, all of that hatred, self-hatred, collective hatred. All of that had to go somewhere. All of that negative energy had to go somewhere because it's so heavy. It had to go somewhere. Where else would it go? Think about it. Greed, for example. Greed is the reason why Mother Nature is all fucked up and why she is pissed right now. I mean, I'm sure we've all noticed it. I mean, the weather is nowhere near the normalcy it had 20 years ago. Nowhere near it. We knew what the seasons were. Now, in winter, we have an 80-degree day. That's not normal. More than one at that. I can see a fluke if there's some type of warm front coming in off of some storm, whatever the hell, how that works. Flukes happen, even in nature, as it's not symmetrical. I'll talk about that later, but she's not happy. We're having flood-type rains, just regular little rain that we're supposed to have, sprinkles, enjoying a nice rainy day. No. Every fucking rain is a goddamn hurricane of some sort or tsunami. The winds, the floods, all of that. The waves of water that rush in is just not normal. And she's telling us she's pissed. And all of this is because of climate change. And of course, it's always a debate. Motherfucker, it's obvious. Because we're destroying the protection that we have around us from the cosmos. The sun's rays, the sun is far enough away for us to survive it with the protection that was around the goddamn planet, the atmosphere, the ozone layer. All of that was there for a reason. What the fuck? If Earth had something before we came along, what makes you think that it wasn't there for a fucking purpose? Come the fuck on, people. So arguing against climate change, it makes you dumb. It makes you unknowledgeable because it's there. We know that it's there. Things are changing. Mother Nature has to adapt to her own shit now, all because of our greed. We have to industrialize. We have to commercialize every fucking thing. Everything is about money. We're depleting her resources that she gave to us abundantly. We're exploiting them. Let's look at the CIA world facts. We have countries, third world countries we don't want to send any money to willingly and freely, but we'll gladly take their resources and undervalue them. Of course, the governments come in and charge what they charge and so forth and so on and sanction and all of that bullshit. But there's always some exploitation there. We can look at that throughout Africa. There are so many foods that come from there. And I'm not going to list them. Do your own fucking work. Don't call it shithole places and then enjoy the luxury that comes from them. And want to mock them when you see them on commercial. Sally Struthers' ass trying to push it. We don't want to make ourselves feel uncomfortable and inferior or that we agree with something, but we don't do shit about it. We don't stand up for that because our shit comes first. Whatever it is that we want, it comes first. So bringing it full circle. This is why we're where we are. And Mother Nature is teaching us a fucking lesson. Look, y'all bitches did this shit. Oh, you're gonna pay. And this is nothing compared to what's to come. This is nothing. This shit is nothing is going on compared to what's to come. So I'm glad it's finally here. I'm glad people are finally waking up. I'm glad people are finally seeing what people have been telling us for hundreds, thousands of years. We need to do better as humans. One race, humans. We need to do better. We need to treat each other better. We need to treat the earth better. Because we didn't have the earth, we will not be here. We will be extinct. We have to have shelter, which we have to have on the earth, on stable lands. We have to have food, which comes out of the lands, even from our animals who have to eat from those lands. Without any vegetation or the meat or anything that comes from as a result of that, what the fuck do you think we're going to do? Are we going to start creating our meals like the Jetsons and all of that shit? But again, in order to make those meals, don't we need energy? And energy would have to come from somewhere. We would have to, again, build on the land. or use the sun's resources. We would have to rely on Mother Nature. We always will. That hasn't changed. But the more she's damaged, the less resources we'll have, and the more in trouble it will be. So think about all of that. It all boils down to love and hate. Love, selfishness. Love, ego. Love, greed. I can go on. Love doesn't change. It doesn't. Even when you say passion, that's still love. If someone is passionate about something, they're like, yes, yes, yes. Yes to a plan, yes to an idea, yes to whatever. So love, no matter what form it takes, is still love. It's still great. Love is still pure. It's still love. The same goes for hate. No matter what form it takes, it's still hate.